Good morning. You remind me of White Chicks, how like they busted out with like man voice.
Oh my gosh.
Have you guys watched White Chicks? It's like one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's so
We
good.
can watch it on repeat. They're just so funny.
America.
Oopsie.
Triple TKA. Do you remember what that means?
Time
To
to
totally
kick
kick
ass. Okay, let's kick some ass. Good morning, you guys.
Who's ready to kick some ass?
Let's see who's in the room. Let's see. Tiffany Hughes in the house. Amanda Rego. Yeah.
What up, girl?
She loves these money conversations. Her
Bye
and I
bye.
talked
You
about it.
see her name pop up.
I know.
Jeanette, what's up? And
Brittany Burns.
Catalina.
Veronica.
Veroni. Susanna.
Oh, Susanna. Hi, good morning.
Skipping right past Susanna. She skipped right past you.
Brogan, I apologize. I don't know how I didn't see it. That's why I went back up. Lauren.
Jerry's back.
I love it. Jerry, I suppose.
What's up, Lauren?
I suppose you had fun yesterday.
My sister from another Mister. Andrea, did we say hi to Andrea?
Damn,
Kevin
Patrick,
Dude,
second time this
bro, you miss me or what?
week? Kevin Patrick, it's been a minute.
It's really great to see you though, if you're still here.
Tammy.
For the record.
Kat Sellner. Okay, that's a new name.
Kat.
Drop a comment and tell us where you're from, Kat.
Jeanette. I always love that name.
Chelsea Miller Morgan. That looks like a new name.
Chelsea Miller Morgan sounds like a famous name.
Yes, it does. Like
Chelsea
Megan
Miller
Fox.
Morgan.
Chelsea, drop a comment and tell us where you're
What's
from.
up, Novik?
Shredded Novik is back.
Bro, I miss you.
I love it. Hot damn! Erin, your hair looks good.
Yeah, you know, this one got her hair done too, and it looks really amazing. We were, by the way, like 8 weeks overdue because we missed our appointment.
I'm not taking any offense to not having my hair not be as
Hashtag the
different.
Rona, but I think what had happened was mine is so ridiculously dramatic.
Yeah, mine is very subtle.
Yeah.
I like to ease into it. We're different people with different needs and different preferences, and so are you. So, okay, today's a money conversation. And
Let's talk about money.
And I think today's conversation is going to open up a lot of people's eyes. Okay? Because we're going to talk about the difference between being broke and the difference between being poor. There's a huge difference. Just like we always do in every single episode.
I see a lot of people jumping in here. That Julia, what's up, girl? Okay,
I thought about her yesterday when we were at the hair
Actually,
salon.
so did I. There was a girl who was at the salon.
Yes!
That I kept reminding me. She had the glasses and the short hair. And I was like, man, every time that girl reminds me of Julia.
I know. I
So
thought about
good.
her the whole time too. Every time she walked past by me. Julia, we're thinking about you. But anyways, there's a big difference between being broke and being poor. Okay? And you want to pay very close attention because it can haunt you for the rest of your life if you're unaware of the difference. So just like we do with every single episode, the first thing whenever we talk about a word is we define it, and then we're going to dive deeply into it. So,
Broke.
can you do me a favor, just because I have other things open up? Today we're working with 3 machines.
We're going to look up
Can
the
you
word
look up
broke.
the definition of the word poor and then the definition of the word broke?
Which one you want first?
Okay, broke is fine.
Do you want poor?
Okay, good.
I have both. I'm so quick.
So the definition of the word poor.
Can I read it? Can I read it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Lacking sufficient money to live a standard considered comfortable or normal in society. Okay, I'll say it again. What?
Not read number 2.
Number 2? Okay. Worse than is usual, expected, or desirable, of a low or inferior standard or quality. Lower or inferior standard or quality.
So this is a moment when we're all gonna raise our emoji hands.
Wait, can they type? Can you say what you want them to? Whoa. What you want them to say yes to?
Well, I want you to raise your emoji hand if you know somebody in your life who you know has a shit ton of money.
Don't just raise an emoji hand. I'm going to give you a word to type so that we actually understand what you're responding to.
Okay. Who you know has a shit ton of money or has a good amount of money, and they always say, I don't have money for this, or I want to do this, but I can't. What is the word that you want them to drop?
The word is liar.
Yes. Yes. The word is uneducated.
Uneducated.
So drop the word uneducated if you know at least one person in your life who's like that. Who you know has money sitting in their bank account, right?
Plenty of money, but says I can't afford.
They drive a nice car. They have a big ass house, right? But they say things like, I can't afford this, or I'd like to do this, but I can't, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's see.
Uneducated.
There's a difference about
frugality. We're going to talk about that. There's a difference. So,
liar.
Lots of people. Oh, uneducated. Liar. Okay, so yes, the reason why the word Sarit chose was uneducated is going to be understandable once we talk about what the word broke means.
Yep. Which, let's get right into
Broke is having completely run out of money.
Yes. So here's the thing. Being broke is a...
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so being broke and poor are words that people use interchangeably, but they're not the same. And so that's what we're going to describe the difference. Because if you feel like you don't have a sufficient amount of money for things, you're either broke or you're poor. And it's good for you to actually determine which one, because it will also determine the future of your financial situation. Okay.
Yes. So here's the thing, you guys. Being poor is a mindset. Being broke is a current state.
Bottom line.
Okay.
Say it again. Bottom line.
Being poor,
the whole point of show right here. Difference.
Being poor is a mindset, and being broke is a current state. Okay, and we're going to define it into our terms. Okay, with regards to weight loss. Okay, being overweight is a current state. But being fat is a mindset. Being fat is a mindset. Being overweight is a current state. And that's why we say that all these principles apply. Okay?
Ooh, this is good. Can I say one thing?
Yes.
It is how you identify yourself. It is an identity versus a current state. Mm-hmm. So once you identify with something, it becomes and consumes you. If you identify with poor, you will forever feel like you do not have enough money. Because it's an identity. Mm-hmm. Being broke means, shit, I just ran out of money. Mm-hmm. But your state of mind is what is the difference.
Yep, exactly. So here's the thing. You can have millions of dollars in the bank and still be poor. Meanwhile, okay, you can be broke, but you can also have a rich mindset at the same time.
Yes.
Because that is the current state that you're in. Just like you can be overweight right now, right? You can be overweight right now, but you can have the right actions and the right attitude that will get you out of it. But you have a healthy person's behavior. right? Meanwhile, you can be quote unquote skinny. I hate that word, but you can be fat, right? And I know so many people like that. I remember when I played tennis in college, there was this girl, right? They even used to have a nickname for her that was called Pova, because she was blonde and she was really tall and she was really skinny.
Pova.
And she all she ate was Chick-fil-A and junk food and pizza. And I'm like, girl, you're fat because you have a fat person. You have a fat person's behavior.
Wait, why do they call her Pova?
Like Sharapova.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
right?
She's skinny.
What?
Yeah?
Yeah, but she had a fat person's mindset, right? Like she didn't treat her body right. So what do you think is going to happen in 10 years if I was to ever see her again or look at her Instagram?
Unless her mindset changed.
Unless her mindset changed,
yeah.
right? But like, meanwhile, when I was playing tennis back in the day, I didn't look like Pova, nor I ever will. But I mean, if you were to call me Serena, I'd be. No, actually, I love being myself. But
oh, that's so cute.
But
they love me.
But here's the thing, you know, I'm short and I'm stocky, and you know, like I was challenged with my weight, right? However, my problem was that I had a fat person's mindset in the sense that I didn't treat my body right. All I looked for is sugar-free, fat-free, blah, 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 like not the right behaviors, right? However, I knew that my current state and my destiny is very much unattached. And the same thing goes for your money, you guys. But what makes somebody poor versus broke is not the current state that you're in. I don't care how much money you have in your bank account or don't have, but rather what is your mindset and what is your level of education. And that's what will forever will create more opportunities for you or will forever block you. And this is super, super important because there's so many people on a given day basis who block themselves of so many opportunities because of that stupid ass mindset. And it's so annoying to see it. Right? The difference, when you say can't, you're actually not committed to figuring it out. Right?
So,
like you're not willing to put in the work.
There is somebody who said, I think it was Denise, who said, could you be perpetually broke? So that is one of those things where if you're
What is perpetually?
The word perpetual means never ending or changing. So always the same. So always broke. Now, what I would say is you're not broke, you're poor. Or you're misusing the word broke, or because if you've run completely out of money, you can run completely out of money only once you have money, which means you're not perpetually broke, because you have to have money to lose it. Does that make sense? You have to have something to lose it. Broke means I've lost it. Perpetual means always happening.
So being perpetually broke will tell me two things about a person. For one, you're either lazy, right? You're not working hard enough, right? Like you have to create more money, right? Or you're uneducated, right? You just don't know how to get yourself out of that situation. Exhibit A, why we have this show, or both. Maybe you're uneducated and lazy too, right? Like nothing in life happens by accident. Nothing in life happens in accident, especially if you live in the United States.
Yeah, so let's talk about poverty, because that's a great transition into Corey's question. What about poverty? Now, when you're in a third world country, things are different.
Yes.
Your life is different. Now, most of the people that we talk about live in a modern society, live in the United States or Canada, or somewhere where we have choices.
Yeah.
And enough freedom to create the life that we want to live, if we're willing to work hard enough. And so poverty is, again, like if you are a dependent, you're not at a stage where you have as many choices. So that's irrelevant to this conversation. But you seem like you had something to say, and I can't find my words for what I'm thinking.
Well, with poverty, we can define it too, but the way that I see poverty is a current financial state of a community, and it's normally due to lack of resources. Poverty is not an issue in the United States. If there are, right, poor people in the United States, it's because they're either uneducated, lazy, or both.
And poverty too is due to a lack of several resources, not just money.
Yes.
Poverty is a lack of several resources.
Yes.
And now when you're in poverty or community, then you always get to choose your mindset. Now, what you're exposed to helps you determine what you believe is possible. But when you are in poverty, you can still choose to think of yourself identifying as poor, or I'm lacking resources.
But normally when your community is in poverty, for one, your environment shapes you, right? When you're born in the ghetto of a third world country, and I can say it because I lived in a third world country, right? When I lived in Jamaica, I also lived in the sub-Saharan desert, right? These are people who are underprivileged. You guys have no idea how freaking privileged you are. The minute you leave Canada or the United States and you start seeing how other people live, you will say thank you.
Yeah, anybody in America, you live in America, you're rich.
Here, you have the freedom to be rich, you have the freedom to be poor. And if you're poor, it's because lack of education, laziness, terrible environment, all of the above, and that's exactly why we have this show. Because if you live in the United States, you have an equal opportunity of achieving financial freedom, but it's up to you to commit to doing it. It requires a lot of hard work and it requires a lot of discipline. And what we're going to talk about next is what are the attributes of a poor person.
Hi, Julie. It's been a minute, girl.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Where you been? Glad to see you're alive.
What are the attributes of a poor person so that to really help you understand like where you're at?
I also,
for one, do we have any rich people in the house? Do we have any rich people in the house? Raise your hand. Give me an amen.
Can I say something?
Yes, let me raise my hand. I'm a rich person too.
So, it's good thoughts to think like, oh, what about, where does poverty fall? I'm just going back to this, right? Like, by the way, June Ellen, rich is the opposite of poor.
Yes. You live in a state of abundance.
So if we're asking about, so here's the thing. If you are in poverty, you're not watching this.
Right.
So if it's something that's like, oh, I'm curious about this, great. But to be honest, it's a little irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Because nobody in poverty is going to be watching this.
And people in poverty also don't struggle with weight loss. They struggle with hunger.
They struggle with malnutrition.
Right. Like, this show is for first world people dealing with first world problems. Weight loss is a first world problem. Right? Yes, there's a lot of overweight people in third world countries, but that is because they don't have a lot, they're just uneducated. They're uneducated. Like, there's so many overweight, like diabetes in Jamaica is so freaking high because they're not taught. Right? So they eat.
Tired to tea.
Yeah. So they eat a ton of processed carbs like it's nobody's business. And that's why this show is so important, you guys. Like, the principles are in so much alignment.
Ubaid, richness comes by heart, not by money.
Amen.
It comes by heart and mind and soul.
Ubaid, you gotta respond to my Voxer PS.
Yeah, Ubaid, right now, leave this show and go respond. Just kidding. Okay,
Crystal.
rich in mindset.
Crystal, I gotta tell you,
My
like
identity is
when I
rich.
saw the topic of today's topic, I thought about you so much, and especially when we had the analogy of fat and overweight and poor and broke, like I thought about you because you're so on the path for both.
Rich in life, rich in mind. Yes, yes. Check to check. Rich. Rich in life. Do you have a car? Do you have a roof over your head? You are rich. Good point. But I have what I need at the moment. Okay. What was I going to say?
In the Zulu tribes in Africa, they judge a man's wealth by how fat he is. Yes.
Because
yes.
you have the money to eat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very different.
Christina, I lived in Nigeria, and that's the same right there. And that's why in a lot of third world countries, the women would strive to be fat. And they're more desirable by men when they're fat because that means that they live in a different status.
Yeah.
And that's why poverty is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant for this show and for our community. But of course, you can look it up if you want to learn more. So, what are the attributes of a poor person? Okay, this is something that you probably need to write that down.
And this is good because it's going to help you to, if I want to develop a rich mindset, if I want to actually give myself an opportunity to be more financially free, what attributes do I need to escape from? And what attributes do I need to possess?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first thing is, if you're poor, you lack financial discipline. You lack financial discipline, that means that...
You'd rather buy shoes than pay off your debt.
That means that you're not taking ownership for your responsibilities, whether it's paying off your debt or paying off your bills, right? Or not even having a savings account and not, on a continuous basis, transferring money to your savings account, regardless of how much money you make. Okay? And this is something that we talked about in previous episodes as well. You gotta have discipline. And this is why I love talking about money so much, because it is so much in alignment with weight loss. If you don't have discipline, you will always fucking struggle. You will always struggle. Right? So you gotta have discipline, and the most successful people and the wealthiest people. And by the way, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy, and this is something that we'll talk about in another topic.
And this is also where frugality comes into play.
Yes, but, if you want to be wealthy, right, you have to practice discipline with your money. You can't just blow it.
So you can be frugal and have money. That doesn't mean you identify as poor. Mm-hmm. There's people who have a lot of money, but say they can't afford things because part of their identity, whether they realize it or not, is poor. And then there's people with a lot of money who choose not to spend it. That's the difference. I can't versus I choose not to. Mm-hmm. In any circumstance. But with money, that is the definition and the difference. Not the definition, but the difference between poor and broke is I can't and I choose not to. So next time you find yourself saying, I can't afford something, say, I'm choosing not to spend my money on that.
Yep, it's your
not
choice.
It's not enough of a priority, and that is frugality.
Yep.
Right? I didn't buy a new pair of shoes. I was the queen of buying shoes. Like, the bottom of my closet literally was a layer of shoes that I had to walk over. And now I have maybe 10 pair. Mm-hmm. Maybe. And I bought my first pair of new shoes. It was like over a year since I bought a pair of shoes, I feel like. And it's because I kept telling myself, I was like, I had plenty of money to buy shoes, but I transferred from not having discipline and buying whatever I wanted and I'll figure it out later, which there is a time and a place for that, but shoes is not the time and place when you don't need shoes. So, and it goes with a lot of things, but I chose to go from, I'll buy this thing that doesn't change my life or doesn't do anything for me, and I'll figure it out later, to, man, I need a new pair of shoes because the bottom is like wearing out and my shoes are falling apart, but I didn't want to buy any because I wanted to spend that money on other shit that was going to move me forward in life. It's like $100 for my shoes, right? And $100 in this life is not a lot of money, but I didn't want to spend it because I wanted to spend it on things that would move us forward. That's the difference.
Yep. So you gotta have discipline. Felicia, massive shout out to you. Frugal Mom of 4 here with a savings account. Amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
Amazing.
You
have a plan, right? You're being responsible. Poor people never learn new things. They don't watch this show, and that's why you need to share this episode if you find this useful. Seriously. Look, poor people are always stuck in the I can't. They have those same habits of whenever they see a new shoe, oh my God, I'm going to get that shoe. But when it comes time for them to invest in a program, they're like, I can't, it's too much. Yeah, it's too much. But how much is that going to increase your self-worth?
I just had an epiphany.
Tell me.
When you buy something, there's a difference between a purchase and an investment. When you purchase something, it doesn't benefit you in any way that's going to improve the quality or the future of your life. When you invest, it is something that is going to improve the quality or future of your life. That can be education, that can be like property, that can be stock, that can be whatever it is, right? Now, when you say that you can't afford that, you're coming from a broke mindset. Or no, you're coming from a shit. I had such a good thought, but it was like when you're refusing to invest in something, saying you can't afford it, is different than when you buy something that you actually shouldn't be buying, but you buy it anyways. Right? How many times do we spend money? And I'm trying to figure out like which is poor and which is broke. But when you buy things, think about the last car you bought. Did you need to buy a car? Was your car not working? Was your car broken? I'm not talking about, oh, there's a dent, oh, there's a scratch, oh, it's old, oh, it's loud, oh, the radio doesn't work, or it's dirty, or whatever, it's outdated. I'm talking about your ass didn't have a car and you needed one. Like public transportation just was shit and you had to have a car and you bought a car. Now, most of the time when people buy a car, they don't need to buy a car. And we get ourselves now a car payment. So now you have added a car payment to your monthly bills when you didn't need to. It's not an investment if you didn't need it, right? A car is a liability. It costs you money.
And as soon as it leaves the lot, it loses value.
Exactly. So now think about how many things you could potentially be spending money on versus investing money on. Because one is, I'm thinking, oh, I'm broke, but I'm going to buy it anyways. And then the other one is, I can't invest, but it's a poor mindset. Because you don't have money when you're buying shit you don't need. You don't need to be getting it. Intuitively, especially when you're low on money. But then when it comes time for you to invest in something that's going to benefit you or move you forward, you say, I can't afford it. And now you're poor. You're poor.
Because you're blocking yourself from taking your life to the next level, right? And again, it goes back to the concept of discipline. You don't have the discipline, right, to listen to your intuition, but instead you keep on seeking that instant gratification. Okay. You know what? Since we talk about cars, I want to bring this up. When it comes to car payments, this is how we calculate a car payment and the priority for it. And that's why we've been driving the same car. Unless you have passive income paying for it and you can go to the store and you have money to pay for at least 2 times the amount of the car that you earned from passive income, don't buy the car. So now if each and every one of you guys were to practice that discipline, I guarantee you that you're like, oh shit, this is very different. However, I hope that that's not the case for you, because that means that you are balling. And I want you guys to all be ballers. I know that we are headed to being ballers.
I'm a baller. I play basketball.
No, but I mean like passive income can buy a G-Wagon, double the amount.
A G-Wagon?
I've been wanting a G-Wagon, yeah.
I want to be able to buy a jet. I probably won't, even if I could.
Because we'd rather help countries with poverty.
But I want to be able to.
Yes,
I will be able to.
So, okay, here's the thing. Also, they give up too easily. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good
Poor people
one.
give up too easily. You don't try to get resourceful. You don't look for opportunities. You block yourself. And you say, I can't, and stay instead of saying, how can I?
People who stay overweight, and I'm going to use this term overweight as meaning you want to lose body fat. I'm just going to call it overweight as a blanket statement, just so you know. You don't have to be overweight to want to make a change. I'm going to use that word. People who remain overweight give up too easily.
Yep.
That didn't work.
You give up too easily, or you give up too fucking soon. Oh.
What is that quote that's like, right when you're about to give up is when you are going to find success.
Oh,
like that's
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like at the point in which you blank is when what is it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. See, you guys, do you see how all these principles are like completely intertwined? And that's why we're so fucking passionate about it. Because we hope that, you know, by showing you the alignment of this, we can really help you believe that anything is possible. Having a six-pack is possible, right? Like having $100,000 coming to you and passive income every month is possible. Does it require hard work? Yes. Can you see how you're going to get it done right now? No, but follow the steps and keep fucking showing up.
Man, if somebody knows
okay,
that quote,
all right. I'm
amazing.
gonna so they give up too easily. I'm gonna move to the next one. If you find the quote, or if you guys find the quote, drop it down. They're always looking for get-rich schemes. So good, just like overweight people.
Make $1 million in 1 year.
Sorry, not overweight people, fat people. I want to lose 20 pounds in 20 days.
Ooh.
No, don't try to lose weight quick. Lose weight for sure. Don't try to get rich quick. Get rich for sure. It's that simple. It's the same fucking thing.
Do you want it now for a week, or do you want it in a week forever?
Oh.
I just made that up.
Ooh.
Do you want it now for a week, or do you want it in a week forever? Okay, so that's not a like end all be all, but that's the shift I made when I had back surgery. Do I want to be like in the sport I was competed in, which is known as CrossFit? I was really good.
She was really good.
I would say I'm still really good.
Yes.
But I don't prioritize it, because would I rather have my body last forever, or would I rather be badass as fuck for a couple years of my life so that I'm in constant pain for the rest of it? Mm-hmm. Give and take, baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So remember, get rich for sure. Don't try to get rich quick. Right? If it's get rich quick, there's no plan. Right? Like you're taking a fucking risk.
Also, like getting rich quick is just as easy as not as easy as losing weight really quick.
Okay, say it again.
Like getting rich quick, you can't, like a lot of people don't even know how to do that.
No.
Right? So you, like, getting rich quick is not even a thing that happens, I feel like.
Yeah, but you know what? And I want to talk about it because I remember when we first started our business, we got jaded. I remember that. I remember that because, like, I knew nothing about finances, like just being like 100% honest with you guys. And some of the things that I saw on Instagram, it's like, you know, 6 figures in 90 days or all that bullshit. And I was like,
that's a claim.
right.
You can lose 20 pounds in 20 days.
Yes.
You cannot get $1 million going from 0 to 90 days. It's not going to happen. So with weight loss, you can lose weight fast. You can't, money doesn't just fall in your lap if you're starting from 0. Now money falls in your lap once you've done the work to get it to fall into your lap.
Right.
But that takes way more work than most people are willing to put in.
Yeah.
Okay? It's called sweat equity. And now, when we first started, it's not like, oh, we made a boatload of money real quick and then we lost it because we didn't know how to manage it. You can't do that. If you don't know how to make money, there's no way. Like, you can lose weight really quick and not keep it. There is no way for you to make a bunch of money really quick and then not keep it. If you could think of a way other than the lottery, I actually would love to see it in the comments because I just can't think of any right now.
And please don't tell me stocks or Bitcoin.
I mean, that is a possibility, but also goes away quick. So I suppose in that case or in that regard, it is possible, but you still have to.
It's not guaranteed. It's not a for sure guarantee.
Yeah, so I have to take back that statement. You can make a lot of money really quick, I suppose, but you still have to know how to play the game. At least a fraction, right?
Right.
Like, you know how to play the weight loss game a fraction. I do keto for a month and I lose however much weight.
Yeah.
But then because I don't know how to play the rest of the game, I lose it all. It's the same with stocks. If you don't, you have to invest a lot of time learning the game.
Years.
Learning the game.
Not a book.
Same with real estate. You have to learn the game. You can't just be like, oh, this property is worth this, but it's selling for this.
And you gotta be a player in the game. You can't just get on the field and expect to score a goal.
Usually get rich quick means that somebody else gets rich. It's true.
Yeah. Okay. They keep blaming others for their situation. Oh, I love that so much. I love that so much.
These are all the not to do's.
A lot of poor people that I know, and this is amazing because I want you to think about yourself, right? Like, if you're like, oh shit, like this is speaking to me, or people around you who are poor. They never take fucking ownership, and that's why it's in alignment, right? Because if you're fat, you're always gonna blame something. You're gonna blame the server at the restaurant. You're gonna blame your kids. You're gonna blame not having time. Take fucking ownership for yourself and for your life and what it is that you need to work on. Right? Problems are meant to be solved, not to be blamed. If you blame other people, you're not working on solving it.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, the stock market, somebody said I can't trust it, so I don't invest in it. You just don't know how to play the game. You can make money, the market's up or down. You just don't know how to play the game.
No, if I can't trust it, I don't invest in it. I love it.
True, but the stock market is not a matter of I can't trust it. It's you don't know how to play the game. You don't trust yourself. Because you can make money whether the market's going up or down if you know how to play the game right.
Right, but I think Amanda is talking specifically with a certain stock. She's like, if I can't make a prediction, then I don't invest in it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Stock market, the whole market. It's a matter of not trusting yourself because you don't know how to play the game. And that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay.
okay.
I see Andrew's comment.
Right? Like, that's okay. Because it's not for everyone. Real estate's not for everyone. Stock market's not for everyone. Bitcoin's not for everyone. I don't even know if it's going to be a real thing. I can't say. I have no idea.
Yeah, Warren Buffett is obviously like a multi-billionaire regardless of what's happening because he knows the game so good.
And he's
the best in the game.
If you think about it, how many times has the stock market crashed since Warren Buffett has been alive? And somehow he's still a rich motherfucker.
Yep.
So you just have to know the game you're playing. But Warren Buffett also doesn't mess with real estate, right?
That's not his game.
Grant Cardone doesn't mess with the stock market because they don't know the game. They don't care to learn about it. They're not passionate about it, so they're not going to do it. Find your passion. Find your way to make investments. First, it needs to actually start with you and just educating yourself.
Yep.
And now with regards to weight loss, It's investing in something that's going to help you educate yourself in how to play the game.
And how to be confident playing the game.
Yes.
I guarantee you, there's no way in hell you'll want to get into real estate investments if you're looking sloppy.
If you don't, or if you don't understand how to manage the risk. Every investment has risk.
Yep.
But there is a degree in which you understand how to predict that so that the risk is managed, right? If you go into real estate and you calculate, all the calculations, and you calculate for the absolute worst case scenario, and you're like, if everything is shitting the bed and this is still at least breaking even, I know it's a good deal. You're managing the risk. Now, if you don't do the calculations, if you don't know how to play the game, if you say, oh, this property is worth this much and it's selling for this much, it must be a good deal, I'm going to buy it, and you don't do the calculations, that's your fucking fault.
Oh man, if it crashes. It's going to happen to so many fucking people by the end of this year, I guarantee you.
But it is, you have to know how to play the game so that you can manage the risk in the investment. We're totally going on to different topics, but this is what we do. So,
okay.
Just like, weight loss. Like if you put your time, your money, your effort, your energy into learning the game, which, hey, that's what we do. I'm not even going to hide it. If you don't know how to play the game, you should invest with us to learn how to play the game so that you can get to where you want to be for good, not just for this period of time.
Amen. Okay, so stop blaming, other situations, right? And that's why it's in alignment with weight loss, right? Like, don't blame your work. I don't have enough time. I don't this, I don't that. No, like learn how you need to solve your problem one step at a time, okay? And that's why all these things, like, take time, right? Because you gotta learn to overcome it. Now, the next thing is, poor people spend time with the wrong people. People who don't add value to their life, people who don't elevate their life, people who don't make them think differently. And this is why we have this show, you guys, right? To bring a community of badass, healthy, confident AF, financially free women. Right?
Holla.
And men too, for the dudes in the house. This is important, you guys. Like, the only thing that stands between you and your best life is what's between your ears.
I was going to say, you.
And the people that you surround yourself with, think about who are the top 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. Those are the ones who make the most influence on you. How do they look? Are they overweight? If they're overweight, I guarantee you're being challenged, to do the right things with regards to your nutrition all the freaking time. Do they work out? If they're not, I guarantee you that it's something that you struggle with is motivation, right? Are they wealthy? Are they investors? If not, I guarantee you that a lot of times you're stopping yourself from opportunities when they come your way. Because you say, I can't, instead of trying to get resourceful.
I love it when somebody says work smarter, not harder. Andrea, I would love to offer you an improvement to that statement. Because if you want to be wealthy, it's important to understand you have to work hard and smart. Mm-hmm. It's not either or. We say get comfortable being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to work. Nothing in life that's worth it will come easy. And nothing that is worth it in life will be handed to you for your whole life. You might get things that are handed to you, but there are also probably choices that you made involved in creating that sort of luck or whatever. But it is important to know work hard and smart, because that is what will move you ahead of the people who are working smarter, not harder.
Amen.
There are people who don't work. I sound like Grant.
Yeah, you did.
There are people who work hard and not smart. There are people who work smart and not hard. And then there are the people that we all know because they have a shit ton of money that they couldn't even spend if they tried, who work hard and smart for a very long time.
Yep.
Not for this much time, for a very long time.
But hey, guess what you need in order to work smarter and harder? Energy. Guess what comes in your way, right? When you're overweight, you don't have enough energy. And this is why it's so important to talk about it. Okay, so they cannot control their greed. This goes back to the concept of discipline and seeking instant gratifications. Oh, oh my gosh, this new Nike sneaker came out. I gotta get it, right? Or I'm really craving chocolate. I'm gonna go get it. Shout out to Christina Machine all the way from Scotland for really flexing that discipline muscle yesterday, right? Like, you controlled your greed.
Amanda has some advice for going and investing in the stock market, and I would be the devil's advocate to this, simply because it is a mindset. So she said you shouldn't invest in the stock market if you aren't first debt-free and have 8 months to a year of emergency savings. Okay, that seems like it would be a good rule to make, and if that is your rule, that's your rule, and I respect it. However, if I've spent the last 2 or 3 years of my life learning how to play the game, and I have enough confidence that I can go and invest money that I don't have, knowing I can manage the risk, I'm gonna go into more debt to play that game. If I know how to play the game. Now, a lot of people might find this hard to swallow because you don't know the game. I don't know the stock market game enough to do that. I'm not saying I would do that right now, but if I knew how to play the game like Warren Buffett knows how to play the game, you better believe I'm gonna go into more debt to play because I know I can get myself out of it and further.
I like what she's saying, and this is why, like, it's so important to have self-awareness, Amanda, and I agree. Like, on paper, that theory looks amazing, right? But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the end all be all, for sure. Because, I mean, for one, like, as a rule, it sounds amazing, right? Because let's say shit hits the fan, like, you're going to be good for quite some time. So you are preparing for the worst. I love that, right? And that's why it's, like, a great theory to follow. However, just like with anything, it doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all. Just like intermittent fasting has health benefits, doesn't mean that it's right for you to do right now.
Yeah, and then she said, compared to nutrition to weight loss, you shouldn't expect results unless you change your nutrition. So I would say, also, when, crap.
Are you having a brain fart?
Yeah, and it was really good.
All right, can I move to the next thing?
Yeah.
Okay, the other one is lacking focus. You're not focused. This is a long-term game. You got to stay focused. You got to stay the course, right? Like, you can't just be greedy and strive for instant gratification and then, like, just stop. You got to stay consistency. And again, just like with weight loss, you got to be fucking consistent. And just because you were consistent for 12 weeks doesn't guarantee anything. Every day when we wake up, it's 0-0 for everybody. And that's why it's all mindset.
Boogie's wicked snoring.
Yes, he is wicked snoring.
It's not Boogie, that's a bear.
Okay. Poor people are always seeking miracles to happen.
It's a muscle, right? That's a muscle potato right there.
Oh,
who called him that? Was that Chili? Called him a muscle potato?
I think so. They're always seeking miracles to happen. Oh, the day I win the lottery, my life will be this. Guess what? Anything that comes to you fast will be taken away from you fast.
Comes easy, goes easy.
Yep.
Boom.
You need to be willing to put in the work. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to manage it and handle it, and it's going to be taken away from you. Right? So don't seek a miracle. Become the miracle maker. Make it rain.
Chili, I call him a heavy tater tot.
And then they're too proud to ask for help. They're above other people.
They're above help. They're above need.
Yeah.
Because
they're scared to get vulnerable.
Yes.
That was Monday's conversation. Vulnerability is sexy.
Who's been scared to ask for help before? Who has felt like I shouldn't need help for this?
I was scared for a very long time until Miss Health and Fitness, and then I did not give a fuck.
Man, there's so many things. It's like it's a self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel insufficient if I ask for help. I feel incapable if I ask for help. I feel less worthy if I have to have help from somebody else. That is self-worth versus shit, I can't do this. I'm okay to admit it. Somebody help me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Boogie, do you have anything to say? Okay, great.
Yep.
Good input.
All right, you guys. So, I mean, that's that. I hope that you have great awareness with regards to being poor versus being broke. Truthfully, I hope that each and every one of you guys are not in either categories. But if you are, I really hope that you're broke and not poor. Because if you're poor,
you can change it today.
You can change it.
You can change it today.
But if you're poor right now and you're unwilling to change it, then, you know, you're never going to achieve a life of freedom because you're not willing to change.
So, who's going to commit to being it? Okay, I don't want to say this for everyone because you may have a significant amount of money, but for anyone who feels like they have used the word poor to describe their situation, I challenge you to start using the word broke and remembering this. If there are Jeff Bezoses and there are Warren Buffetts in the world with the trillions of dollars that they have, is there a lack of money in the world?
So good.
Is there a lack? Or can you give yourself the opportunity to think in abundance? There is no shortage of money. Somehow, we just printed trillions more for the current state of the economy.
There is just a shortage of people who are willing to stay the course, be disciplined, do whatever it takes, and change what's between their ears. However, we are on a mission to transform that for millions of people, including ourselves. And we hope that you're giving yourself permission to come with us, because we want you to go up the mountain with us. Something that we hear from a lot of people who found success is that, oh, the mountain is empty when you climb up the top.
It's lonely at the top is the phrase.
We want to change that. We want to have a tribe at the top, right?
Please
and that's why we're
be part of
teaching
our
you
tribe.
guys everything that we're learning. It's a journey, baby, and we're all in this together. But here's the thing. In order for you to follow, you have to give yourself permission, because if you don't, you're not going to commit. And if you're not going to commit, no action will be taken. So you're not going to get anywhere, right? So if you're committed to climbing up the mountain with us, drop a comment and say, I'm coming. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I want you to drop that comment.
Drop
too.
some star emojis.
If you're watching this on YouTube, then hit the subscribe button. Bing. If you found this useful, okay? Do us a favor. If you found this episode useful today, then please, when you receive that email today, share it with a friend. Share it with someone who keeps on making all the excuses, and open their fucking eyes. We want them to climb up the mountain. However, it's their choice. Look, if you live in the United States or Canada, I guarantee you that you can create the dream life that you want only if you choose to. Right? If you live in an underprivileged country, then that's a different story. But you're probably not watching this. However, we want to be so fucking successful so that we can help them too one day.
Hell to the double, yeah.
Okay, who's coming with us?
They're coming.
Wait, go from the beginning.
We started with here.
A village of savages. Who said that?
It's Chili.
I love it.
Okay, Ubaid's coming. Crystal's headed up the mountain. June Ellen's on the way. Lauren's coming. Brittany's coming. Jerry's coming. Hell to the double. Yeah. Elizabeth is coming. Chili's OMW. Stacy is such a mountain climber. She's coming. Kristen's coming. Susanna's coming. Oh, Susanna's
learning to get vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Does that mean that you're coming?
Marching up the mountain right now.
Great, Tiffany.
I saw Jeanette. I saw Courtney. Anna, take me with you. Girl, you got to take yourself, but we will do our best to lead you.
You got to commit.
We will do our best to lead you. Regina, I'm committed, not adult enough to say the other way without giggling. I'm coming.
Got it.
She is not coming. How unfortunate. Anybody not want to type I'm coming? I'm climbing. Woo! All right. Hey, so glad y'all are coming. That's amazing. What a great Wednesday.
Hey, if you're coming up the mountain with us, then do us a favor. Share it with somebody that you want to come along.
You don't have to be a
Coming is meant to be shared.
Coming is meant to be shared with others.
Share it.
Please help others come.
Please share it with at least one person who will benefit from watching this. We hope that you love this episode. Like we said, we will be traveling to a mountainous place tomorrow. So unfortunately, we will not be running the show Thursday.
We're gonna call
Friday.
it Come Mountain.
Come Mountain. Mountain Come. Great. Great. We show won't be happening tomorrow and Friday. However, we will be catching back on Friday as expected at 6:30 a.m. That being said, Monday.
Yeah, you just said Friday.
Oh, sorry. Monday.
We'll be live at some points throughout the weekend too.
Yeah, but we don't know when. So, turn on your notifications. However, the show won't be happening for the next 2 days. So we will catch you guys on Monday at 6:30. In the meantime, have yourself an amazing hump day. Let's get over the hump and climb up the mountain together.
Get over the hump and come on to the mountain.
Yes, and have an amazing weekend.
Bye, guys.